So I had a real privilege recently. I was the keynote speaker at the ultimate nerd alert event for financial people. It's the Bogleheads, who are devoted to the memory of Jack Bogle, who's the gentleman who changed the trajectory of investing in the United States when he founded Vanguard. And for the first time in investing history, investing became affordable and approachable for everyday people. And now Vanguard is the second largest financial house in the world because of a singular focus on low costs. And Vanguard, truth be told, has had growing pains with customer service, and in some cases has excelled at customer no service. But the focus has always been giving people the best deals on investing. And they've changed the industry in so many ways. But there's still a lot of people in the supposed investing industry who they're really investing in themselves, not for you and your future, with how they play the game and what it costs you. And so it can be very frustrating to find someone you can trust. I mean, not even to the point of you can find someone who will do a good job for you. I'm talking about even finding somebody you can trust to play the game straight. And the insurance industry and the bank-based brokerage industries have both done everything they could in Washington to prevent the adoption of what's known as a fiduciary standard. A big word that means something really simple, that the people who you trust with your money, handling your future, your financial security, your retirement, that they must legally do what's best for you, not best for them. A legal requirement that a fiduciary enters into, that they never would do what's best for them, that they would only do what's best for you. And yet we hear from person after person who gets cheated by a bank, a bank-based brokerage, an insurance company, where you're talking to people who may be able to chat up a good conversation, may appear to be very friendly, may be very friendly. But being friendly is not the same. Being nice is not the same as being good, honest, and ethical. And so this is a hard area. And Krista, I think about how much we've heard from Lori and our team, Clark Consumer Action Center, when they get calls from people who think they've gone down the right path to find an honest, legitimate person. Not necessarily someone who'll be good at it, right, but someone who's honest and legitimate, and then they get burned.
And even so often, it's my friend recommended, very honestly, if a friend is an advisor, and they might not even realize that they're selling really bad products to them. We hear a lot of that. Like, this is my friend from work's brother, or, something like that.
We do hear that one a lot, don't we? Mm-hmm. So I've found some organizations that we're going to add to our list, and one of them is one that only gives advice. We've had complaints about Garrett, which I've talked about for years, that the Garrett advisors are interested in what's called AUM, which means that they manage your money for you. And a lot of Garrett planning, and they are fiduciaries, but a lot of Garrett planning people aren't excited about the idea of just charging for advice and giving it. So this new organization started Advice Only Network that all they do is advise you. They don't handle any of your investments. That's up to you. But a lot of times people don't know, how do I do this? How do I do that? And it's not just picking a fund or the right portfolio of funds, or when you should put money in a Roth, when you should put money in this or that or the other. This is much broader. A well-trained, well-experienced person will be looking at your overall financial picture. What things do you have in place you should have? Is your will up to date? Is there a situation in your complicated family that you should be having trust. You own your own business. How are you handling succession planning for that? That's what a true financial advisor does. A computer can pick your fund mix for you. I mean, you can go get a robo for very little money that'll pick investments. That's not what a financial professional is about. I mean, picking the funds, that's the most basic blocking and tackling. But what it's really about is your overall goals, your shortcomings, your successes. How do you make it all work together to get to where you want to be in terms of financial security and in your life, and for if you have a spouse, for your spouse, if you have kids, for kids, if you have a blended family, how do you handle all that? This is what they do. So adviceonlynetwork.com is where you pay a fiduciary just to do that, just to give you the guidance, and you never have to worry about a conflict because they're not touching your money. They're just doing advice.
It's not going to be probably $100 to do
Oh,
this.
no. It's not gonna, I mean, this is stuff that's not cheap because it's like going to see a lawyer about an involved thing or going to an accountant when you need a lot of work done, or CPA. So this is not cheap stuff, but if you are somebody who's developing assets and you just don't know how to put it all together, that's why you'd go for advice only, particularly someone who likes to make their own decisions but needs professional guidance.
It's going to be thousands, mostly.
Okay.
Just have to say that.
All right. And then there's another thing that I'm very interested in, a nonprofit called flatfeeadvisors.org. And flatfeeadvisors.org does a different thing. Normally, you pay, like if you go see a financial advisor and you use one, you pay them 1.25%.
I pay 0.75%.
0.75% for them to make overall the kind of recommendations I was talking about your overall life and how you're doing with your goals and making sure everything's in place. And they also handle your investments for you. So you pay 0.75 points for that. Standard in the industry is 1%. So what Flat Fee Advisors does, regardless of what you have, you pay the same flat fee. And so different advisors state what their fee is. And you can see on the list who's out there and what they charge. But just because somebody charges whatever they charge for whatever it is they're doing doesn't mean they're the right person for you. That's why you interview them like you're interviewing an applicant for a job with you, because that's what you're doing. And you're paying them. And it's clear what you're paying for. You're paying for someone who legally is putting your interests first with the advice they give you. And so this is an area that's been a frustration for us forever.